Hello, I'm Dr Sergis from the Dr Sergis Academy, and in my last video I explained how to simplify algebraic fractions, and in particular we're doing this particular question in my last video, and there's two other questions which we need to go through, which we didn't have time to finish in the last video. So again, we're employing the same methods of simplifying fractions, which is factorizing the numerator and the denominator of the expressions. Yeah. So remember that in my last video, I went through in detail how to simplify algebraic fractions by factorizing the numerators and the denominators. And then where necessary, we can cancel out the expressions in the numerator denominator to end up with a simplified fraction. So let's consider this particular algebraic fraction. So we've got x squared minus 3x plus 2 all over x squared plus 5x minus 6. So consider the expression, the quadratic of three terms where the coefficient of x squared is 1, which is 1x squared. So that's x squared, if I could write it out here to explain the method. So we look at the factors of the last term, 2, such that when multiplied, will give you plus 2, but also at the same time when we add those factors, then they should add up to the coefficient of the middle term, namely minus 3. So let's see if it fits this criteria. So when you're factorizing quadratics where the coefficient of squared is 1, all you have to do is look at the last term and find the factors of the last term. And then those factors that when added will give you the middle term, minus 3, will achieve the factorize the factors. Okay, so minus 2 times minus 1 is plus 2, and minus 2 at minus 1 is minus 3. Okay, so and then what we do is we write the x next to it, so we get x minus 2, x minus 1 are the factors. So if we expand these factors, we get the quadratic of three terms. Okay? Now, if we look at the second expression, we'll proceed in the same way. So look at the factors of the last term, if I could write it out here. The factors of the last term, which is minus 6. Okay? So we've got plus 6 and minus 1. Because plus 6 times minus 1 is minus 6. But those factors that when added will give you the middle coefficient, which is plus 5. So we need to find the factors of the last term, and then those factors that when added will give you the middle term. Okay? So it's plus 6 minus 1. Multiply together, you get minus 6. And if you add minus 6 to minus 1, if you add minus 6 to minus 1, you get plus 5. So we write the factors of this quadratic underneath. First one, so we've got x plus 6, x minus 1. So if we factorize this algebraic fraction, we end up with the factors in the numerator and the denominator. And then you can see we cancel out the x minus 1. What we're doing is we're dividing the denominator by x minus 1 by itself is 1. Divide the top by x minus 1 is 1. And then we end up with the simplified form, which is x minus 2 over x plus 6. Okay. So if we do the same thing, so that is the simplified form of this algebraic fraction, which is this. Okay. If we do the same thing with this one, okay, if we can rub out the previous question, notice the numerator of the expression of this question is a difference of 2 squares. Recall when we went through the difference of 2 squares, how to factorize the difference of 2 squares. So we got x squared minus 4 all over x squared minus 7x plus 10. So we find the square root of x squared is x. Square root of x squared is x. And the square root of 4 is 2. So we'll write the x plus 2 and x minus 2. Remember, we dealt with the difference of 2 squares in one of my previous videos. And then we look at the, again, factorizing the quadratic of three terms where the coefficient of x squared is 1. Find the factors of the last term. And the factors of the last term are minus 5 and minus 2, because minus 5 times minus 2 is plus 10. Minus times minus a plus, but then those factors, as before, when added to give you the middle coefficient minus 7. So that fits the bill, these factors, because minus 5 and minus 2 is minus 7. And then we just add the x next to them, and we end up with the factors of x squared minus 7x plus 10. And then all we have to do is cancel out the x minus 2. So what we're doing is dividing the bottom denominator by x minus 2 by itself is 1, divide the top by itself is 1, and then we end up with the simplified form, which is x plus 2 all over x minus 5. And so we end up with the simplified expression for that algebraic fraction. So I hope you enjoyed the method, hope you enjoyed the video and you learned something from it. Thank you for watching.